Hi again. This is video number 2, and I'm just testing out different places to film and see what works. I'm going to have to work on some nice backdrops, I think, which will be fun. So, what I want to talk about today is a holistic approach to dramatic life change. So, to crisis, to adversity. And this really applies to any kind of adversity or crisis that we go through in our lives. But I'm particularly keeping in mind this which we're all facing at the moment, this which is separating us physically, but also uniting us as a species globally. We're all in this together. And it's so lovely to see all of the neighbourhood support, community support, the things that people are posting as support, coming together to show that that is possible, to show that people do care, and to show that people are coming together. So crisis can invoke a lot of emotions: fear, anxiety, worry, depression, hopelessness. But it can also invoke a lot of opportunities for growth and a lot of positive emotions: excitement about opportunities that can arise from this, about the reality of change which is taking place that can actually birth a positive, more harmonious reality into being. How we face crisis and adversity affects the outcome. So, what I want to share with you today is a little bit about some mindfulness principles and also some principles that I've developed as part of Elements of Nature that are influenced by mindfulness, permaculture, and what I've learned as a holistic therapist and a shamanic practitioner. There are polarities that we can feel in challenging times when we're going through any kind of pain, whether that be physically, mentally, emotionally, even collectively, which is what's happening right now. So there is denial when we're in shock, when we don't want to face the reality of what's going on. And at the other extreme, there is overwhelm. We can flux between the two, and we can use denial as a self-defense. However, what we want to aim to do is balance between those two polarities, and also accept that we're going to go through a whole range of emotions as human beings, and that whatever we're experiencing is okay. It's normal to feel all of these emotions. So the principles that I've developed, touching back on the polarities of overwhelm and denial. So when we're in denial, what we want to do is turn towards acceptance, turn towards the reality of what's going on, and allow ourselves to accept. So as the serenity prayer says, God grant me the serenity to accept that which I cannot change, the courage to change that which I cannot accept, and the wisdom to know the difference. This is a great motto, a great prayer that we can call upon in times of challenge. And it teaches us to accept not as in a sign of resignation or giving up, but accepting that this is the reality in this present moment, and that we can move from that place. We can accept and we can let go. So when we can accept an emotion rather than suppress and push it down, we can allow ourselves to process the feelings that go with that and move on from that, allowing growth to occur. When we're in overwhelm, what we want to do is turn gently towards pleasure and acceptance. We want to find the balance between practical action and keeping ourselves safe and well, but also allowing pleasurable experiences, turning towards that which brings us joy, which brings us pleasure. So looking at all of the things in life that we appreciate, that we have gratitude for, and all of the opportunities to nurture our relationship with ourselves and with those we're in immediate contact with, and also nurture the relationship with those that are distant from us, be that by telephone, FaceTime, letter, however we can do that. It's about having gratitude for nature as well, and really tuning into that connection to nature, because we've become very separated from it, which has been a result of this consequence. as we separate from nature and we don't understand that we are part of nature and part of that intrinsic cycle of nature, that same ecosystem, we're all part of that. Until we are in harmony with our ecosystem, we're going to hit more crises. So it's about looking at how we can harmonize with our own needs personally and within our families and communities, but also with the planet itself. The principles that I've developed as elements of nature are very much based in mindfulness, along with the other modalities that I've mentioned. It starts with forgiving and learning from the past. So we're all entangled in this system that's not serving us. We all play a part, but we don't want to waste energy beating ourselves up, scrutinising ourselves, comparing and judging ourselves and others for the part that we play within that. Instead, what we want to do is learn from those experiences and make the changes that we individually are able to make to support this transition towards a more harmonious way of living. Living more self-sufficiently, which is becoming highlighted to us right now when the infrastructure of things around us is facing collapse. We need to look at ways in which we can look after ourselves, how we can grow our own food, how we can find medicinal remedies from nature that's there and provided for us. So it's forgiving and learning from the past. And then it's accepting and enjoying the future. So going back to what I mentioned about accepting that which we cannot change. So accepting whatever's going on in any given moment, whatever emotion you're feeling, accepting that that's okay to be feeling that emotion and finding healthy ways to channel that emotion. And enjoying the present. So making the most of every moment, not getting swamped by fear, getting lost in the media, being consumed by all the negativity that's being put out there, getting the balance right, staying informed, but having moments of real appreciation of what you do have, the resources that you do have around you, and the relationships that you have around you, nature as well as a relationship with yourself. And then creating the future. So this is about really feeding ourselves with that positive energy. And like Einstein said, if we vibrate at the frequency of that which we want to attract, we cannot help but attract it. And that's physics, not philosophy. So what that means is that when we focus on positivity, when our minds are thinking about positive things, when our words are saying positive things, then we are attracting more of that into our reality. So again, accepting and enjoying and generating more of that joyful frequency and creating the world that we want to create. So bringing to mind how you want the world to look. We might know what's wrong and what we don't want, but let's look at what we do want and how we can create that together. Principles of permaculture can really help with any designs for yourself personally or for any projects that you want to look at with an ethic based on earth care, people care and fair shares. So those three core principles are forgive and learn from the past, accept and enjoy the present, and create the future. This is a real time of rebirth. It's a time of creating that which we want to see in the world. So really start to visualize and energize what that is. Take time to read the books you want to read, to watch the films or documentaries you want to watch, and to learn, to look at resources that show how positive new life is being created with permaculture communities, off-grid communities, sustainable living, and conflict resolution that's being applied within communities, civil justice. There's so much out there that's a really positive shift in the world, and that's where we want to be putting our energy. So holistically, on an individual level, keeping yourself well, I invite you to ask yourself the following questions. What can I do to keep myself physically well? So think about exercise, food, nutrition. Think about what you need for your body to help you stay well and how you can adapt your current routines to fit these lifestyle changes. Be inventive, be creative. Incorporate as many things as you can. So as a mum who's homeschooling, I'm incorporating that into our education, getting outside, doing some exercise in the house, doing some yoga, doing some meditation, learning about life skills. My son's even wanting to start making YouTube videos as he's seeing me doing this as well. So asking yourself physically, what can you do to keep yourself well? And then mentally and emotionally, what do you need to feed your mind, to keep you healthy? Having time to meditate, perhaps, to nurture, to switch off, to do what you're passionate about. Maybe take up a hobby you've always wanted to do, get into something creative, learn a new language or learn a new skill that you can learn at home. And then what can you do to help yourself spiritually? What can you do to stay well spiritually? And what I mean by that, I don't mean in any religious context or supernatural context. It's about what that means to you individually. So basically, what gives you a sense of connection, meaning and purpose in your life? How can you be of service in your life to the rest of humanity? And what is it you're passionate about? What gives you a sense of meaning? What gives you a sense of connection in the world? So I hope that helps. Please comment, please subscribe and share with anyone else you think might be interested in this kind of support, guidance, and please share any insights as well. I'm learning. I don't profess to know it all. I'm learning about lots of things, and will do so for the rest of my life. And I always find that everyone's a teacher and everyone's a student. So signing off with love, stay well, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.